On this channel, I have reviewed some of my favorite shows and movies of all time. But one thing I haven't done yet is take a look at a movie that is universally despised by the community. So I was wondering one day, what is the worst animated movie ever made? One Google search later, and I find this. With a whopping 1.5 out of 10 on IMDB, I already knew this was going to be something special. But hey, you guys should know me by now. I'm not going to base my opinion on what the majority thinks. So without further ado, here is my own personal experience with the quote unquote worst movie ever made, Foodfight.
I'm not the one who's gonna be puppy whipped, you cold-farted itch.
I watched this entire movie from start to finish, which is something I'm not very proud of. But hey, here's the bright side. At least you don't need to watch it because I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about this train wreck. So the first thing I noticed was the eye-catching art direction and animation, especially for a movie released in 2012. Maybe it's not fair to compare films, but let's just put this into perspective. In 2012, we got movies such as Wreck-It Ralph, Brave, and Madagascar 3. Regardless of what you think about the overall quality of these films, just take a look at the animation during this time period. Okay, got it? Now take a look at this. Ew. Look at how many production companies worked on this abomination. You mean to tell me nobody saw this and said, hey, you know, maybe we shouldn't release this until the animation looks a little more, well, acceptable and not something a college student made for their Gmod project? Friendly reminder that people paid legit money for this. We are introduced to this anthropomorphic dog creature who goes by the name Dex Detective, who is also the main character. Why is the main character a dog? Beats me. He is ambushed by an evil rat and these horrible looking pig rodent creatures. But luckily he manages to defeat them by using the power of his needle to pop the hot air balloon they were standing on. And please just take a look at this animation. I watched this movie in public, folks. Can I please have a moment to talk about these character designs? Can somebody please explain to me in clear detail what the hell this is supposed to be? What kind of world is this, by the way? There's normal human beings, and then you got random characters like this squirrel dude who looks like he wants to eat my balls. So then Catwoman shows up, who I guess is supposed to be Dex Detective's girlfriend. Pretty low standards if you ask me. And he wants to propose to her for some reason, but he never gets the chance because Catwoman runs off to go check on Squirrel Dude, but never returns. 6 months pass and yeah, this happens. I'm not sure what kind of drugs these characters are on, but nobody in this movie seems to be able to stand still for even a second. Everyone's all fidgety. It's as if they drank 3 gallons of 5-hour energy. We cut back to Dex Detective, who is having a wet dream about his lost girlfriend from 6 months ago. Yeah, he's still pretty depressed about losing Catwoman and starts blaming himself for her disappearance.
I'm sad, but I'm not crazy. Whoa!
Then Squirrel Dude tries to provide Dex with some words of encouragement, but instead it just turns into him talking for way longer than he should. But thankfully, in the next scene, he crashes into a tree at full speed, but he survives. Unfortunately, back to Dex Detective, and he meets up with this very disturbing weasel-like creature who literally looks at a train that's about to hit him for like 10 seconds and just stands there when his fate could have easily been avoided. Whatever, anything to put him out of his misery. Weasel Guy has to be the most indestructible character in this movie, by the way. He gets hit by trains, falls off cliffs, and gets smashed by boulders and just doesn't die, no matter what. So Dex Detective goes to a party and Mr. Clean is there for some reason. I guess that's supposed to be a joke. Don't worry, there's all kinds of random references in this film. If it isn't Dex and his cringy catchphrases.
I'm gonna pop your corn, lady.
It's obvious product placement like this where the only possible reaction would be, oh my gosh, I have that syrup bottle. I can't believe they put that in. No, seriously, I can't believe Mrs. Buttersworth is an actual character in this. Then there's this long drawn out scene about this Barbie creature who I guess is supposed to be the hottest character. And you know what? I can kind of see the appeal. She is pretty ugly, just like every other character in this movie. So then a fight breaks out for some stupid reason, or should I say, Foodfight! Because that's the name of the movie, guys. It wouldn't be Food Fight without a food fight. And okay, I'm not even going to explain this part. Please take a look for yourself at how this food fight ends.
Party's over. Time to banana split out of my club.
I'm not even going to think about questioning the logic here when it's pretty evident the writers didn't care. So by this point, I honestly just wanted the movie to be over. But to my horror, I was met with the unfortunate news that I was only 1/3 done with it. Barbie girl shows up again in the next scene, and Dex Detective gets an erection because of her beautiful smell of plastic. Dex then starts to fall in love with Barbie girl for some reason, not realizing that she's actually evil, and it's not like that was obvious or anything. I mean, just look at her. So her plan is that she is going to lead an army of robots to take over the world or something. I don't know. So then Dex Detective and Squirrel Dude do a bunch of boring detective stuff for like 20 minutes. Next, Barbie girl gives an evil speech on a building with no microphone. At least not one that I can see. But they act like everyone can hear what she's saying regardless, so yeah.
Kiwi Koala did it.
I didn't do anything.
What was the point of that? Why did they feel the need to show? Oh, you know what? Alright, whatever. So if the movie wasn't already bad enough, they start singing. I'll spare you the trouble and not make your ears bleed. Dex Detective gives some sort of speech to give these awful characters the motivation they need to fight against Barbie girl and her army. So moments later, another
Food fight
starts, but here's the thing. I don't know why they have to use food to begin with. Why can't they just use real weapons? Would make a hell of a lot more sense, I think. This has to be the most boring fight scene I have ever watched. It's uninteresting, it's drawn out, and with animation like this, you better believe it is unpleasant to look at. So then I honestly thought that was it. I thought the movie was over because they began celebrating like it was, but sadly, it wasn't. They somehow squeezed 15 more minutes into this abomination. Let's just end this. Barbie girl still has one trick up her sleeve. She kills random penguin dude, but I couldn't care less. Then Big Nose Albert talks for way longer than I needed him to.
Chips chip, crackers crack, aluminum is foil, don't you see? Snot happens. This is a big booger we're bouncing into even.
What does that even mean? So Dex Detective decides he is going to sacrifice himself to defeat Barbie girl. So he infiltrates her base and finds Catwoman, who, shockingly, is revealed to be alive. Seconds before the building collapses, Squirrel Guy saves them. And then the final battle begins between Dex Detective and Barbie girl, but Dex acts like a punk and just doesn't fight back for some reason. Then Catwoman says, yeah, this is pretty embarrassing, I'll take over now, and proceeds to punch Barbie girl so hard she turns ugly. Or to be more accurate, uglier than she already was. Next, a bunch of lovey-dovey talking happens that I don't care about. Dex then proposes to Catwoman and she says yes, but I'm not sure why she would. I definitely wouldn't. Especially when how that final battle went. Sorry Dex, but you got exposed, buddy. The 1% amount of respect I had for you went right down the toilet with that performance. There's a wedding, and then some final words from our crew.
Dex is Jewish?
Yeah, kosher. Who knew?
And that's it. That's the movie. What the hell was that? I really wanted to give this the benefit of the doubt by saying it's one of those it's so bad it's good type of movies, but I had way more misery than enjoyment watching this disaster. There were times where it did make me laugh, but those moments were few and far between, and it had nothing to do with the writing. If anything, it was either the abysmal animation or corny one-liners. It's definitely not as bad as I thought it would be. But I will say the effort put into this is definitely pathetic. And that's if any effort was put into this at all. But this was made to express. Thanks for watching. Hey guys, so I just wanted to take a moment to say thanks for all the support I've been getting recently. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's a little bit different from my usual stuff, but I just wanted to try something new, you know, something a little more comedic. In the past week, I've gotten more subs than I've gotten for the entirety of last year, and I couldn't be more grateful for that. Like, I know my channel isn't that big as of yet, and I have a lot of epic video ideas in mind, and I couldn't be more excited for the future of this channel because of that. But in order for us to grow, I do need all the support I can get, so please hit that like button for me if you enjoyed, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thanks for all the love again, everyone. I love y'all, and don't forget to express yourself. Have a great one.